Everyone, welcome to my very first travel vlog. My name is Nguyen Minh Hien, a sophomore of English Linguistics at Saigon University. So I had a 5-day field trip to several southwest regions of Vietnam. We will get to all the details of this whole stuff in a little bit. To summarize my feelings about this trip, I would say that it was such an amazing and memorable travel of mine. And just like my university consultant said to us while we were still on a trip, this would be one of the most unforgettable memories in each of our lives. On 18th of July at around 5:30 in the morning, all the participants mustered at Saigon University and got on the vehicles at 6 o'clock. We arrived at our first stopover, Mekong Rest Stop, to have breakfast with Mỹ Tho noodle soup. I think the scenery there was so well decorated. However, the dish we had, in my humble opinion, wasn't as pleasing. I still enjoyed it at the end of the day. One of the fun things was when we saw the footbridge. I was nervous to walk on it, so I asked our leader to give it a try first, so I would be a bit more confident. I was still afraid of falling, so I didn't do it. Another fun memory is when me and one of my really close friends, Hoài Linh, noticed a tank which was marked to contain crayfish, but there were only cute little toads or frogs hopping while minding their own business inside. Afterwards, we got to Long Xuyên restaurant to have lunch. All the food there was pretty good.
Là núi Con Két, thứ hai là Thiên Cống Sơn tức là núi Cống, thứ ba là Phụng Hoàng Sơn tức là núi Cô Tô, thứ tư.
Later, we finally hopped over to our very first main tourist attraction, Trà Sư Cao Chu Bụt Forest, which is located in the Bien An Giang province. I was amazed by the beautiful decoration, magnificent landscapes, and especially the big bridge we walked over. Sitting on the wooden rowboat, I got one of my very rare chances in my life to explore the typical ecosystem of Mekong Delta. I think the trip to Trà Sư Forest was super meaningful because we could enjoy the beauty of nature other than our busy and exhausting lives filled with high technology devices. I was in love with the whole place for its wonderful sceneries and hardworking personnel. After boarding on that small part of Great Mekong Delta, we checked in at Pháo Đài Resort, changed clothes, took showers and had dinner there. I really enjoyed the food. As soon as getting all of that done, we had our own time wandering around the coast and touring Ha Tinh city in nighttime. On the second day, we first had breakfast at Pháo Đài restaurant and went to Mạc Cũ Mausoleum, our second main destination.
Đây mộ ở đây, chỗ nào long mạch càng tốt, khí vận hanh thông thì con cháu đời sau sẽ được nhận. Khu vực lăng mộ này là do Mạc Thiên Tức xây dựng, được chưa các bạn ha, chứ không phải là Mạc Cũ xây dựng. Khu vực này được tạo theo cái thế phong thủy gọi là thế minh đường.
A fun memory we had was on our way walking back outside. We noticed mimosa vertica plants on the ground, and my friends tried to touch the leaves to simply have some fun. After that, we got to Phu Quoc Express boat to travel to the dreamy Phu Quoc Island. Getting on the deck was really a great decision of mine. Feeling the wind blowing through my hair, admiring the magnificent landscapes on ocean surface. It all was just a beautiful dream that I'd never want to wake up from. While on the deck, I noticed rainbow reflected on the water splashing on the sides of the boat. I think it was really pretty. After getting off the boat, we got to Thủy Tiên 2 restaurant to have lunch and arrived at Khai Hoàng Fish Sauce Manufacture Factory and their fish sauce store. We learned a lot about interesting information about how the company produced their fish sauce and some fishermen untold facts, such as how they would split the profits with fellow fishermen. We finally got to Hòa Bình Resort in Phú Quốc, put away our luggage and settled into our room. After a few hours, we went to play at the beach, took pictures, visited Sunset Sonado Cafe and had some fun times. Later that evening, we arrived at Hòa Bình Resort and ate dinner. I took these footages on the way back to our room. My classmates decided to play at the swimming pool area that night while I went back to bed. The third day was the most exhausting day for me. After breakfast at the resort, we soon got to Hộ Quốc Pagoda. This place really amazed me with beautiful landscapes and great details sculpted on its architectures and statues.
Chỉ có phái Thiền Tông mới riêng khắc tượng theo mô típ này thôi, cho nên chỉ cần các bạn nhìn thấy cái bức tượng nào mà trong tư thế ông Phật cầm hoa sen, chắc chắn đó là của Thiền Tông.
After that, we arrived at Ngọc Hiền Pearl Facility. At there, I saw a lot of pearl shells and other great stuffs, especially in their stores. They were selling and exhibiting so many beautiful products made of pearl or of the materials. Soon after, we went to Đảo Ngọc Honey Farm. This might be my favorite visiting place out of all the destinations. We learned some really interesting facts about honeybee. Who knows, these small and fluffy creatures can be really obedient toward their queen. Later that day, we visited Ngọc Hà Pepper Tree Farm. Since it was raining earlier, the soil was pretty marshy and hard to work on. We just kinda stopped by, took some pictures and moved on to the next place. We revisited Thủy Tiên 2 restaurant to have lunch and got to Grand World shortly after. The weather was concerning but did not stop us from enjoying our precious time. Up until about 8 p.m., we gathered on a bridge under a long heavy rain and waited only to watch the water show. I gotta say, the performance was extremely well done, but the rain was taking all of my physical and mental strength with every passing second, so I could not enjoy the show. The bus members, visibly exhausted, gathered at this place and got back to the resort. On the fourth day, I woke up super early in the morning due to the plan. Because of the heavy rain, we had to wait for the announcement whether we need to have breakfast and check out as planned. We had milk, got to the bus quickly and ran to the dock, but still missed the boat. So we waited to take another boat to Hà Tĩnh instead of Rạch Giá. At Hà Tĩnh, we waited for our bus to arrive and got on immediately. We stopped by Năm Nhỏ restaurant to have lunch. After that, the buses finally arrived at Ninh Kiều Riverside Hotel. This was the place where the organizers held the gala dinner.
Have an extra moment tonight, and this
The performances were really cool and there were a lot of talented people. The last day of the whole trip, we got ready at around 5 a.m., went on a motorboat and visited Cái Răng floating market. I think that one of the most beautiful things I saw on the trip was the sky while we were walking to the pier, as well as while we were on the boat visiting the floating market. After entering Cái Răng floating market, I got to see the production of hủ tiếu, one of the most popular noodles in Vietnam. We had breakfast afterwards, got to our rooms and quickly put on uniforms. After getting back to the bus, we visited Hùng King's temple in Cần Thơ. In the small museum right beneath the main temple, we learned a lot about the history of our ancestors in Hùng King's empires, about the culture of Vietnam's southwestern inhabitants back in the days from the tour guide. I was kinda overwhelmed by all of the amazing historical artifacts in there. We immediately got back to the hotel, packed our luggage, checked out, and had lunch afterwards. This tour has brought me tons of meaningful memories and historical knowledge that I never think I'd get the chance to hear of. And this is the end of my whole trip. At the end, I just want to say that I am extremely grateful and delighted for everything that our supervisor, tour guide, bus driver and my friends did for me, and also for all the members on the bus. It was a truly satisfying field trip of my whole life, and in my opinion, I would rate this whole experience 4.5 out of 5 stars. And yes, I'd like to go on another one with these kind and wonderful people. thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you had a great time and see you on the next one. Bye.